The smoke from our chimney curls into the clear blue sky, a signal of life and warmth amidst the cold granite-covered hills that cradle our humble shed. It's Paul's birthday today and we're celebrating with a breakfast straight from our garden. We'll test out a new tool that makes planting trees a breeze and face the unexpected challenges that come with farm or off-grid life. I rose early today, the crisp winter air biting at my cheeks, and set about making a special breakfast for Paul. The scent of frying bacon mingles with the earthy aroma of freshly picked kale and parsley from our garden.
I'm getting a knife out, puppy. Careful.
Paul opens his present with the help of our exuberant dog, Truffles. The post hole digger I got him will help us plant more trees and build as well, without the back-breaking labour of manual digging.
It's got assembly.
The frittata baked in the barbecue is a small but satisfying testament to our ability to grow our own food, even on a modest scale. And we have some freshly squeezed orange juice to go with it as well.
I guess because it's got 2 batteries.
After breakfast, we step outside to inspect the frost.
Christmas tree icicle.
And snow has been forecast here in the week ahead, so we'll see if that happens. Truffles, ever the playful companion, eagerly chomps on the ice.
What's this? Oh.
The land speaks to us in whispers and shouts. Today, it's whispers of winter's breath, painting our world in frost. Each frozen puddle, a canvas of nature's whimsy, reminds us of the beauty in the harshest of seasons. The landscape, adorned with frost, glistens in the early sun.
Now we've got a wind chime. Puppy, stop it. Broke it, puppy.
Paul is eager to try out his new post-hole digger, but the sky darkens and the rain pours down, quenching a thirsty garden. And we watch as the earth drinks deeply. As the rain eases, a rainbow appears across the sky, a moment of beauty and promise.
I've got a birthday present. Now, how to work it. Speed mode. So let's go on low setting, which is 100. So I'm setting it on 100 revs per minute, and then it goes up to 150 and then up to 200. Forward and reverse. It's currently on forward. This is my knockback stick. So if it gets whipped out of my hand, as soon as it hits there, it stops. Give it a go.
With the rain gone, it's time to test the digger. Paul, ever resourceful, familiarises himself with the functions and easily digs a hole. This post-hole digger has a powerful 36-volt fusion brushless motor.
It keeps stopping because I keep hitting it. I can take that out. I don't have to have the knockback, but
It has a thigh-activated kickback protection mechanism, so the motor stops if there's any kickback at all. And because it operates on battery power, there's no exhaust fumes, spark plugs or pull cords required for startup. And we have a lot of granite rocks in our soil, so we'll see how it goes, but hopefully this will make it a lot easier for when we're trying to plant trees and do other building projects. Someone looks happy with his new toy anyway. Truffles has been limping around lately, and we discovered that she's got a big cut on her paw pad, so she's just been taking it easy mostly, but as soon as she gets let out of the yard, she gets excited and goes for a run. Paul and his dad fixed up the fencing a little bit around the shed field to make sure that Truffles couldn't get out and chase any cars or trucks that were driving by, so hopefully that's worked. Truffles attacks the digger playfully.
don't you like the fastest speed, puppy? Well, there you go.
Truffles has found a cooked bone that she's not supposed to have.
As a young girl, the fields were mine. We played hide and seek for hours, raised our shadows among the pines. So offshore, playful and free, without a care in the world. I was one rich little girl, daydreamer, kidnap me, take me back, all the way back to them days, running around in a gown and a crown, barefoot.
Truffles loves the attention and she eggs Paul on, but in the end, she wins.
No mistake ever kept me late. We spent summers catching fireflies and winters on our skates.
Our happiness is short-lived when we discover one of our hens has died suddenly, stretched out and stiff. We remove her. When we got her out, we couldn't see any injuries or anything on her, so we're really not sure why she died. And Russell Crowe carries on, almost oblivious to the loss, chasing the girls. If only it was that easy. We need a bigger chook house for them. Paul decides to tackle the broken ride-on mower, which has been out of commission for months. As he works on it, I said about creating a vegetable garden in the back. The wind fights me every step of the way, but I lay down sheets of cardboard to keep the weeds at bay, securing them with rocks and wooden fence posts. So with limited funds, we couldn't take the ride-on mower to the mechanic to get fixed, and it took us a while to sort everything out so Paul could fix it himself. This Masport mower had a Briggs & Stratton engine, and it was a challenge to find any information about it. It didn't even have an engine number. After some frustrating calls with no help from Briggs and Stratton, the Tenterfield Mower Centre came through with the crucial valve rocker clearance information that we needed for tuning. So we possibly had dirty valves and dirty fuel, which blew a hole in the gasket. We had to take our head gasket to Brisbane, 4 hours away, where in a stroke of luck the mower shop had a box of miscellaneous gaskets and one matched ours exactly. So basically Paul had to replace the gasket, reseat the valves with valve paste, use the feeler gauge to set the valve rocker gap, and install a new spark plug, air filter, oil, and just added clean fresh petrol.
So there's different. So that's the coarser compound. So it's like toothpaste. Like toothpaste, but with bigger chunks of sand in there, and that's the finer one. So again, that's like toothpaste, but with little bits of sand in there to grind it. So that's your coarse one and your smooth one. The valve grinding compound, you put it on the seat of the valve or on the edge of the valve, and then I used a little bit of glue on the end of the valve and put a stick on and just did little grindy movements, and then I got sick of that, so I used my drill. But it just grinds the cylinder head seat, so the valve sits nicely on it, so it seals nicely. So these are feeler gauges, so if you can see, I'll turn it that way. That one there is really thin, and you can see it's metal and it's really thin. That's 0.04 of a mil. And then as you go up through them, that's 0.15. So that's and then that's 3.5, 4. So that's of a mil. So that's not even half a mil. 0.4. As you keep going up, yeah, they get bigger and bigger and bigger, but I had to do the mower at 0.25, I think it was, wherever they are. 0.3, so not that far. 0.25, that was it there. So that's the one I needed to use for the mower. It's a bit hard to read because it's a bit rusty. But yeah, so that's what I used to set the clearance between the valve stem and the rocker.
And today is more than Paul's birthday. It's a celebration of our 14 years together. We've faced many challenges and shared many beautiful moments, raising 2 boys, and we've had our own set of trials and triumphs. Together we faced the grief of losing our daughter, and we've had our fair share of disagreements, but each one has taught us more about patience, understanding, and the strength of our bond.
As a young girl, the fields were mine. We played hide and seek for hours, raised our shadows among the pines. So offshore, playful and free, without a care.
These projects will have to continue tomorrow because the rain has returned, driving us indoors.
Take me back, all the way back to them days, running around in a gown and a crown, barefoot. No mistake ever kept me late. We spent summers catching fireflies and winters on our skates.
The next day dawns sunny and Paul has fixed the mower. I take it for a spin around the shed, mowing down the grass to prevent fires. Last winter, a fire swept through our property, a stark reminder of the ever-present danger. And in a pot, my coriander seedling, a triumph after many failed attempts, promises a future of fragrant leaves. Our onions were a failure, planted too close together, but it's a lesson for next time. And the parsley thrives, self-seeding and resilient. The frost cloth that I've been using has been a lifesaver for our plants. So we wash out the chicken house, give them fresh wood shavings, and move their pen to fresh grass. They love to free range. Chickens are delightful creatures, but I remember once mentioning to a work colleague in a job I had in the city in Brisbane one day that I had chickens, and she just screwed her face up like it was disgusting to have chickens, which I thought was really strange. And then another colleague and her son actually came over to our place and thought it was disgusting that we were keeping veggie scraps for the chickens and for the compost in the kitchen as well. In our journey, we share this land with its wild inhabitants, and today, as we were fixing up the chicken's pen, we noticed an echidna crossing across our field. Can you yell out to her?
Anna Mary? No. No.
We spot an echidna wandering across the field, a gentle reminder of the wild beauty that surrounds us. Paul and Truffles watch it curiously, but let it go on its way. And this old carport was gifted to us by a friend, and it was meant to be a greenhouse, but Paul repurposed it as a dog cage. But Truffles always found a way to escape. And it's too cold to leave her outside anyway, apparently. So she's a pretty spoilt dog. We decided to move it into a sunny spot and convert it into a greenhouse. Under the sun's warm embrace, we plan a new life for this structure. Reborn as a greenhouse, we'll soon cradle our tender plants, protecting them from the frost and nurturing their growth. Life off the grid is a dance of adaptation and innovation, and we learn and grow, each mistake a lesson. And here's a good mistaken lesson I learnt today. When you're squatting down to unpeg something, make sure you've got good balance. Otherwise, you end up flat on the ground. We secured it to the ground with pegs. I was eager to start putting plants in there straight away, but the list of needed materials that Paul gave me and their cost dampens my enthusiasm. We harvested a heap of tiny pumpkins just before the first frost. I decided to stuff them with mince and mushrooms and bake them in the barbecue. And as the sun sets, painting the sky orange, we enjoy our meal. We gather to reflect on our day and our journey.
Don't wanna sleep tonight at all. Just wanna watch them stars fall. But you don't wanna try to make up dreams just to be seen. I wanna lay here beside you, oh quiet.
Night falls and an owl hoots from a nearby tree. A silent guardian in the night. Our journey is far from over. Each day we take another step towards our dream of living sustainably and self-sufficiently. It's time for a long, restful sleep. Another day in our off-grid paradise complete. Thanks for joining us here.